What to choose? 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 288 of the Shower Podcast, the podcast where I'm in my shower and you do you. I'm your host, Chip, and today's episode, it's gonna be dedicated to the Shower Diaries, an insight into the creation of the Shower Podcast, and also your chance to get a bit closer to the person behind the microphone. Overall, these are episodes that are trying to document my experience making this product and overall trying to still give you something meaningful by the end of the episode, as the Shower Podcast does. Before we start, as usual, if you end up liking this episode, remember that liking and subscribing really mean a lot for me. They're just one click, but they really make the difference. Thank you very much for considering it. So, as usual, I do not have a timeline for these episodes. They are really a stream of consciousness for me. So, yeah, just hang tight and try to follow me. The topic of today is quite simple, but it's something that we discussed a bit in the past in the Shower Podcast. But let's say this week I felt it a bit more and just want to describe it a bit in order for you not to make the same mistake as me, hopefully. And also trying to get for myself a better view on the problem. Free time, it's something quite difficult and easy at the same time. The concept is pretty easy to understand, and overall, it's something that we all dream of. It's that time that you can dedicate to yourself, to your passions, to your hobbies, or to whatever you want to do. And already by my definition, you can see how my tendency is to feel this free time, you know. It is true that once you start working, once you start having responsibilities, the amount of free time that you have is ever so limited. So I generally believe that there is a natural tendency to wanting to make the best out of it. Problem is that, as with most things in our lives, also free time, believe it or not, requires some training. And what I mean by that is if you create for yourself a schedule, a habit that doesn't really leave wiggle room for it, or if it does, it really does it in a very restricted way, you will struggle a lot to choose, first of all, what to do, because I generally believe that nowadays it's not so much a problem of what to do, because the things that we might have in our mind are plenty, and it's also very easy to get into something new. The problem is how much you are willing to stay with that, and how easy you are distracted by other things. I do not mean that this is the best way of using your free time, of course, but something that I struggle with is the fact that I tend to choose activities when this free time is limited that don't restrict my possibility of changing. So let's say instead of using my 2 hours to watch a single movie, I prefer to watch a series of videos that still accumulate to the 2 hours and maybe go even a bit further. And it really speaks to a lot of other more important topics that I don't want to get into today, but just on the surface, it's clearly that it speaks to prioritization, it speaks to focus, and it speaks to satisfaction. And the thing that I would like to underline mostly, maybe it's the latter. So satisfaction in what we do when we have our free time really speaks about the efficiency and the utility that we are giving that time. So if you feel drained, if you feel more tired after doing something within your free time, instead of feeling relieved, instead of feeling relaxed, there might be something wrong. And I think we all have lived that sensation that comes after 20, 30, 40, 1 hour of doom scrolling. You feel lost, you feel powerless, you feel, without energy, even though you basically did nothing. And in general, I tend to believe, and from experience, of course, even here, bias exists. But I really think and believe that the more we do and the more we keep ourselves actually active in this free time, the better we will feel. And this, in my head, derives simply for the fact that the moment that you keep yourself active, the moment that you do something that requires your attention, even though in the moment you might feel a bit more drained. So coming back to the example of the movie, you have to pay attention to more things, you have to remember things. By the end of it, you will feel a bit more fulfilled. You will feel like something happened with this free time. And if you liked it to a big extent, you might include it in the things that you like to do when you have this free time. Whereas all these frictionless small activities that we have the possibility of enjoying nowadays are very, very hard to control, and most often than not, don't satisfy the need that we might have or we might be looking for when trying to maximize our free time. And it's strictly correlated to what I was saying before. You do not have, even though in the moment you feel like you have the control, at some point it just spirals out and you feel hopeless. Pretty much, this has been most of my my struggle this week, because it was a bit more intense. I had a lot of scheduled things, be it in my private time, be it at work. And I just didn't get the chance to enjoy the free time freely. And the things that I resorted to were these frictionless activities that you just are able to consume back to back. And looking back at the week, I don't feel satisfied. And this episode is a way of recognizing that and trying to remember about it the next time. And I really hope that by listening to this story and me rumbling about this issue, you will also get the chance to look back at your week and trying to understand if you were satisfied or not. Having said that, that was all for today. Thank you very much for listening. As usual, the shower diaries are a bit more personal, so I understand if most of this doesn't make a lot of sense for you. But I'm really happy that I'm still truthful to the core idea of the Shower Podcast, where I do this mainly for myself. And the fact that there is also somebody else listening is just amazing. But sometimes you just need to look after your own good and do something that in the moment might be meaningless, like this episode, but more often than not, it becomes something useful down the line for me. So again, I really hope that this fate also comes your way. Thank you very much for listening. As always, if you liked this episode and made it so far, feel free to interact with it in any way, shape, or form. And as usual, stay consistent, stay resilient. This was the Shower Podcast, and I'll see you tomorrow.